What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle, and welcome back to Closing Belle. We talk everything FIFA, specifically FIFA Ultimate Team, players you need to pick up, others you should stay away from, squad building tips, little helpers, little tidbits, good information. Last week's episode, first episode of the series, we talked about how to make coins. Smart investments, easy profit. And this is brand new, so if you enjoy it, make sure to drop a thumbs up and talk to us in the comments. Give us some feedback. Which topic do you want a little more in-depth view? We have a new introduction, another team of the season, this time the Bundesliga. So what stands out? If you're doing a first impression, 99 overall Lewandowski. EA's been giving out 99s this year, and he looks like he's gonna be a monster. I'm gonna put him into action in my squad. That's not a flex that I have the coins for him, but maybe I do have the coins for him and I wanna try him out. So I'll give you direct feedback on how good Lewandowski is, or if he maybe doesn't live up to that hype. Also, other attackers. You've got Royce, Sancho, Haaland. It's a nice little group, nice selection. Now, this team of the season doesn't have as much depth if we're comparing it to La Liga. Not top to bottom, especially not defensively, but yours truly made the team of the season. If you saw Sabitzer scoring long shots everywhere, sometimes I play football on the weekends. That's all I'm saying. That's my doppelganger. That's what I'm trying to say. And the Bundesliga is what I expected it to be. It's not as good as Premier League. It's not as good as La Liga, at least not top to bottom, not when you're looking at the complete spectrum. But we got some players that need to be talked about. They're on the discussion board. Let's go look at Reddit together. What I'm saying, we have a lot to unpack, but I'm not doing it alone. We have a special guest today. We're gonna get into hot or not. My favorite segment, we have hot or not, team of the season Bundesliga versus team of the season La Liga, and we have a special guest. What's happening, ChuBoi? How are you feeling? How are you living? What's good, my brother?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for this Bundesliga team of the season, especially one guy in particular. He's Canadian. His name is Alphonso Davies. So everybody here up in Canada is very happy about that one. I'm sure we'll stop playing hockey just for that card.
I actually put him in my God tier as well. So he's at the highest tier that he could be. I think that he's going to be absolute premium left back. I haven't started the weekend league yet, but I'm going to put him into my squad this weekend.
Yeah, you better.
So if you're new to this segment, we're going to compare two players. You got to choose one. Are you ready though, Chu? Are you ready? I got my first one lined up. I think this is going to be a real debatable. Right up. I'm looking at the list. Lewandowski versus Suarez.
Lewandowski versus Suarez. That is a lot tougher than I would have thought at first. Back in the day, I think it was FIFA 18. I think Suarez probably had one of the most deadliest cards out there with the team of the year Suarez. But I think now, even though this is an improvement based on the Suarez's we've seen in FIFA 19 and 20, he still has 3-star skills, which isn't horrible, but I would rather actually have Lewandowski with the 4-star combo, the height, the strength, even though they both have really good strength. But I think Lewandowski, I can get more out of him with the stats that he has. But they're neck and neck pretty much. I'm looking at their total stats. In fact, Suarez has more total stats, but I think I'd rather take the full package with Lewandowski for me.
Well, the statistical allocation is crazy. It's off the charts. It's the reason these guys are high rated. My opinion might have been with Chu here if I hadn't already used team of the season Suarez last weekend. 30 games, 30 goals, 24 assists.
Oh, okay.
I can't go against the numbers.
Okay, fair enough.
Next up, we're focusing on the defenders. Upamecano versus Diego Carlos. I'm gonna go with a slight edge to Diego Carlos. I've seen him in action more. I've used different variations of his foot item. I might have already packed him, and that might make me feel a certain way sentimental-wise. So Diego Carlos for yours truly.
Yeah, I would have to actually agree on that because I'm looking at Upamecano, and something I've noticed about him and Konate, who's another center back in Bundesliga, is that their face stats always look really good, and then in-game, you're not too sure about him. And the fact that he's just come out, he has more base stats, I think, than Diego Carlos, but his price is so cheap. He came out at 400K on PlayStation, so that's not a good sign. That shows that a lot of people don't have a lot of trust in this card from the get-go. So Carlos is proven, like you said, especially with the RTTF which came out previously, and a lot of people have used Diego Carlos already, and they say good things, so I'm going to go with that as well, Diego Carlos.
And I like that Chu brought up where stats don't mean everything, because otherwise you just wouldn't need us. There wouldn't be opinions if the statistical read-off was always correct or it always felt that way when you got in game. A lot of times there's just certain characteristics, traits, maybe their positioning, they just don't feel authentic with some of the stats, and it makes it where you second guess or you feel that there are better options. Battle of the Germans. We have Kimmich versus Toni Kroos. It's back on you, Chu.
Now, the thing with the Kimmich is that they still kept his work rates at high-low, which is what they were at when he was at right back. So a lot of people are upset about that because he's moved to midfield and he's high-low, so people want to use him at CDM. I'll still go with Kimmich, though, because he's a bit more versatile. I know that Kroos has the 5-star weak foot, but with Kimmich, I'm not necessarily shooting at goal. I wasn't going to plan on shooting at goal with him or anything, but I just think with Kimmich, I could play him at more positions than Kroos, if I'm being honest with you. And he's got the better pace. The shooting, again, I don't really care about the shooting. Better defending stats and better physical. So I'm going to go with Kimmich on this one.
And just based on the argument, I like to use logic where you would say, well, Kimmich has previous foot items that have been proven in FIFA 20 where Toni Kroos does not. But I'm going to go against the grain here. Maybe because I'm a fan of Toni Kroos. I think it's easier to choose Kimmich, but I really enjoy Toni Kroos. I don't know. I'm going to make it happen. This is the only time that I'm going to get to use him in this year's title, that he's going to be competitive. So I am going to split with Chu on this. We almost need a third person here to decide what's happening. We've already flip-flop on a couple of these. That's why it's hot or not. Bam!
Ooh, there you
Bam!
go.
Okay, all right. I know this one we're going to agree, but we had to put it in there. If you think there's a better comparison player, let us know. But Sancho versus Messi. Messi's got to be the choice. 99 overall. I just don't know who else you would compare Messi to in the Bundesliga that's at the same level of equivalency in a similar position or a role on the virtual pitch.
Yeah, it's hard to compare him to any player in the game, pretty much. I mean, regular Messi is actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite, items in this year's game. I know Sancho does have the 5-star weak foot, but again, I've used previous Sanchos this year, and I just didn't get that thing that you get from Messi. Messi, for me, is the deadliest player in the box in terms of finishing, turning, agility, that kind of thing. And it's Messi. He just has a way of keeping the ball. Team Dear Messi, Team the Season Messi, they're all the same to me. And I think that you're not going to find too many right wingers better than him. And I don't think Sancho's even close.
We have the decider, Chu. Timo Werner the Burner versus Kareem the Dream Benzema. I don't like doing this. I really don't. But I have met Timo Werner. I had the pleasure of meeting him briefly.
Had to flex on there. Thank you.
Yeah, one time we went to the same basketball game. This is almost the speed versus having a big body target man striker is kind of the difference, how you're going to align these two players. I wish that Timo had the skill moves. I really wish he had 4-star skill moves. It would just change the dynamic with his creativity on the virtual pitch. But I'm still going with Timo Werner. I'm going to use him this weekend. I think he's going to give me a little more than Benzema. I think that he's going to put a little more pressure on the defense that he can get in behind and he just won't be caught.
You know, it's going to be tough because I feel like Benzema, at least you can play him at Cam or ST, so he has you there, but at the same time, I just like pure sweat. And for me, Werner's one of the sweatiest cards in this game. I mean, 99 pace, 98 shooting. And the big difference for me is I always hate Benzema's work rates medium-low, and I like Werner's high-medium, so he's always up there, making runs, always high in attack. So I'm going to go with Werner on this one as well.
Well, that's been hot or not. I think it's time that we take a deeper dive on some of the overpriced players. Guys that you don't want to buy. You do not want to pick them up on the marketplace. This will not be a good investment. Shapeshifter Ribery. Still selling at 1.1 million coins. And I know on paper, he looks so special. There's nostalgic vibes everywhere. We want Ribery to be amazing. We've all grown up playing FIFA and we've had stages where he's been that winger at Bayern Munich before, of course, with the skill moves and the way that he was able to slip past the opposition and made a difference, opens up his body for finesse shots, just memorable moments. I understand. I get you. I'm on the same page. And when this was released, I thought, okay, we have a Ribery that's usable. But at the end of the day, the price point's not there. In game, it just doesn't feel similar to the stats that are on paper. I'm not making it up. I've used him on multiple occasions. He can only play one position, which is that number 10 role, almost a Messi-esque role, but he's not as good as Messi. And he's never going to be as good as Messi, any version. So why would you settle for a second-rate player with a big price tag. It's like paying a designer price to get a lower tier product. Why would you do that? Team of the season, Vardy, 650 to 700,000 coins. I like using track records. I also have this item, untradeable, and he's a super sub. I feel uncomfortable having a 95 overall 650 to 700,000 coin player as a super sub. That would not be your goal. There are just too many better options, better selections. And we're talking about big numbers here. Unless you are just a hardcore fanboy of Vardy, which I understand. There's many of those. A lot of his ability on the real pitch just doesn't translate into FIFA 20. Does he get in behind? Does he make those runs? Is he ready for counterattacks? Yes! And he's extremely fast. But guess what? In FIFA 20, people are bus drivers. They pack it in. There's so many bodies in the box. And Vardy doesn't turn as well as other players that are maybe more gifted with that intricacy, with those 1-2s, with being able to give you a little bit of that razzle dazzle. Vardy's not a skill move session guy. He's not going to give you those combinations. He's a very direct through ball based attacker. I would even say if he was 250 to 350,000 coins, that's the range that I would pick him up. That's a good price range. You see where we're having some conflict? Team of the season, Fekir. And I'm not saying he's not good, but once again, 600,000 plus coins. That's a big investment. 5 of his statistics, 90 plus. I get it. I can read those stats as well. Also, I have this player. I'm not just speaking because I heard something. I've used him. You can't change that he's 5'8", so he's undersized. You can't change that he's a 3-star weak foot. That's not shifting, no matter what other stats are boosted or adjusted. And I don't believe in his 96 strength stat line or that statistical allocation. So it changes this foot item. He's not as complete as you might want, especially in the middle of the pitch. I need both feet, plain and simple. And that brings me to my next player, team of the season, Griezmann. And I said this from the beginning. Go get the foot birthday variation. He has a 5-star weak foot. That is Griezmann's detriment. That is his negative. That is the elephant in the room. That's what keeps him from being at this premium level. And we've seen that because he has a version that has a 5-star weak foot that now is more expensive than team of the season Griezmann, which is funny because when this came out, he's about 870,000 coins at the moment, but he was well over $1 million. He's dropped. The consumers will tell you if they believe. A similar problem to Fekir, even with those upgraded stats, he lost versatility. And versatility creates an asset. And an asset means that that price point is going to stay consistent or it's going to go up. Especially over time, people are using these players and they can say, he's solidified. He's good to go. They're not disappointed. And the fact that we have a direct comparison that's almost the same price right now, same player, lower rated, but performs better. Why would you go with the TOTS version of Griezmann? Last of the 5. Any variation of Hazard will leave you disappointed this year because no matter if it's just his rating or is a combination of his price point or you did one of the SBC versions of Hazard, he's not going to give you what's expected. He's not going to go above and beyond. This man definitely doesn't over-deliver, and I would actually say he always slightly under-delivers, and I believe in Hazard being pretty decent. I think he's got an unfair judgment, but when you're looking at some of the price points attached to his higher-rated foot items, especially the untradables, how can we justify it? How can I sit here and tell you should buy that? If you think he's going to be like a Neymar, no. Mbappe, absolutely not. Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi, these other top tier attacking players, he's not in that same category. You got to bring him down a notch, maybe even 2 notches. And I know that a lot of us are fans. Excuse me, microphone. I know a lot of us are fans of Hazard. This is not personal. This FIFA does not play to his strengths. EA didn't give him what's necessary for us to build a statue about Hazard and to compliment him and put out a bunch of superlatives. Is he fast? Does he have good touches? Sure. Something's missing, and it's always going to be missing, at least in this year's installment, if you want Hazard to get over the hump. We have the Showdown. I'm going to call this the guest showdown, and we're looking at previous clubs, or just clubs in general that these 5 footballers have played for. It's myself versus Chu. I don't necessarily trust Chu. I don't think Chu trusts me. I know you don't. You don't. There's not a trust the mic segment. There's only a trust the boy segment. We will have a bonus rule. If you know the clubs that these players played for when they were in their youth, I feel like there's some bonus points involved. I don't know that's going to help me at all. I don't feel very confident with that additional rule, but I feel like there should be a mention there because most people had a pathway to get to these big clubs that we all see them at now. Are you ready, Chu?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. First player, KDB, Kevin De Bruyne.
Ooh.
6 clubs, And then I'm sure there's a bunch of youth clubs that I have no idea where to start. Okay, 6 clubs. You know what's funny? I think I'm gonna get 5 of these. I don't know the last one.
Yeah,
But I think I'm gonna get 5 only because of FIFA. Like, I mean, I watch football, of course, but I'm saying, like, I think I'm gonna get them because I remember one of the signs. I'll even give you a hint. Do you remember the chief? Like, there's a chief badge.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So I know that he played there, but I only know that because of the damn badge. And I hate going up against it in the weekend league. It's always a sweaty player. Guaranteed sweat fest. All right, I'm putting the 5. I have 5 on my list. So
I only have 4. So City, Wolfsburg, Chelsea, and Genk.
Okay, yep. So I have those, plus he played for Werder Bremen.
Werder.
You should have remembered that from FIFA. All right, next on our list is Virgil van Dijk. And this is a terrible, like, with Virgil van Dijk, it says 4 to 5. So I don't know what the hell that means. I don't know what that means. 4 to 5 apparently too. I don't have 4 to 5. I don't know about you.
I could have 5, but I'm not sure.
If you have 5, you're ahead of me. Or
because
4, you're ahead of me for sure.
I know a guy that played with him on his youth team. And I have to double check, but I think I know that team.
I put down 4 names, but I'm confident with 3. So I've got Liverpool.
Yep.
I've got Southampton.
Yep.
I've got Celtic, which I think is the front runner 3, most 3 recents. And then I put, what is it? Feyenoord. I put Feyenoord, but I don't think that's right. But that's like, I was trying to figure out who I think he could have played for that maybe I don't know.
So
what do you have?
I've got those 3: Liverpool, Celtic, Southampton, and then the one of the Dutch teams he played for was the same team that Suarez came from, and that is Groningen.
Our next player is Mesut Ozil, who has 4 clubs, and I swear there's also youth teams again, but I wish that I had this in my locker. I don't know youth development. I just don't. I do know who Mesut Ozil played for before he went to Spain, though. So I think I have 3.
Yeah,
that's like,
3.
Oh, dang it. Not making up any ground then. Once again, I don't think I'm right, but I have 4 on my list.
All right, where are they?
I went Arsenal, Werder Bremen again, Real Madrid, and Cologne, which I think Cologne is, I don't know if that's right. Probably not right.
I've got...
yourself?
Yeah, I got the same thing. Werder Bremen, Arsenal, Real Madrid.
Paul Pogba, as a United fanboy, this should be easy for you. I think he just has 2 clubs here, and then whatever he's got for youth development, which could be major bonus points, because I'm assuming that he played in France with multiple clubs or organizations, and I kind of feel like you know his history really well. But I don't even know where to start guessing for. I'm assuming it's somewhere Ligue 1 for youth development. I don't know if we're going the 1st division, the 2nd division. I mean, I could just... It only says 2 clubs, so I'm going to put these 2 clubs, but like that's a bonus option, I suppose. And I feel like I'm about to get a history lesson here from ChuBoi. So I've got Juventus and Manchester United on my list.
Yes.
And what do you have adding on to that, Chu?
Le Havre, which I think that's where N'Golo Kante came from.
Last choice on the list, we have Dybala is our last choice of unlocking space. So Dybala has played for 3 clubs. All right. I know where he's currently playing. I know the 2nd club.
Yeah,
I don't know the 1st club. The
only
2nd club.
Only because of FUT.
All right, I'm ready. Okay, Juventus, Palermo.
Yep.
But I misspelled on this, by the way. I added an N apparently. It's Palermin.
Oh my god.
And then I put Boca Juniors, but surely that's wrong. Surely that is wrong. Like, I just don't feel good about it, so that can't be a good sign.
So I've got Juventus, Palermo, and I think it's Newell Old Boys, but I don't know. That might be Messi. I think that's Messi's, but I just took a guess because I was like, maybe a lot of famous.
You know, there's a 3rd. Yeah, why not? Let's put the best. Yeah. Well, that's a wrap on the showdown. I don't feel confident about being a winner in that. I don't have the answers in front of me. I'm not sure yet. I think things have been getting tallied behind the scenes. But I can feel an aura or an energy from Chu as if he's the winner.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And that's where we're gonna end this week's episode. If you enjoyed everything, make sure to drop some love. And where can we find you, Chu?
You can find me at ChuBoi, that's CHUBOI, on pretty much every social media platform, but on Twitch, it is ChuBoi7 with the number 7.
I look forward to seeing everyone next week.